Hello. Oh my gosh, so good to be with all of you guys again. Let me just move this over here. Okay, right here. Thank you. This is the things that go in life that you cannot see back. You can see all the backstage happening. Thank you so much to coming back. I'm super, super, super happy with this. I'm always super happy. I think that this opportunity for me has been amazing to talk to you guys, to be with you guys, to bring to you who am I and what I have been done with so many other women that have been working with me. And for you guys to know a little bit more about me, my name is Rosalina Esquilin, and I'm not just a businesswoman. I am a woman that rebuilt myself, built a business, and learned how to run knowledge into power, influence, and wealth. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that you guys are here. Many years working in real estate and business leadership and sales. I have been seeing so many women that they don't see all of their strength or powers to be their own CEO. And the things that I have been noticed is that we forgot that we are the CEOs of our businesses. And after everything that I have been through, that I have been seeing many of the agents working in my office, people that I have been trained, people that I have been coaching, people that I have been putting them in the market, the first questions that I ask them is, how much do you worth? Do you know how much you're worth? Who you are? So if you don't know who you are, if you don't know your value, how can you run even your house? Because we forgot who we are. We start living, or we continue living life like nothing, like if we had to do it. And we had to go back to who we are. We are the CEOs. And in business, you need to bring all your power there. And the thing is that since I have been in real estate, since I have been put my brand in the market, since I would put myself in the market, I have been noticed that it's very important the way that you project yourself, the way that you talk, the way that you represent yourself. Knowledge is power. And we forgot that. And that's super important. When I start real estate, first I explained to you guys that I came from Puerto Rico and I didn't pass my test from real estate in Puerto Rico, right? So that was like a big wow, because that's my language. I know Spanish. Of course I'm supposed to be past my test over there, but no, it's until I came here to the United States that I start taking the classes and put myself there. That challenge take me to another level. Sometimes we think that the things were gonna be easy, and there's I don't know why, but if you talk to anyone, they will say, "Oh, the things that are easy, people doesn't take they take it for granted. They don't make the value of it." Maybe it's true. Who knows? But when you put the effort, when you put the your your energy, your commitment, is a completely different story. And something that I have been noticed while I have been working with so many people, with so many women in the business, is that the women are so talented, but they are not capable to go and build extraordinary businesses because they never have been thinking that they have their power. And that could be for many reasons. Maybe we have been thinking that we don't have the knowledge, or we don't have this PhD or this doctorate to talk to somebody else and help somebody else to be better. And sometimes we don't need that. I don't know if you guys have been noticed that maybe a friend of you asks you for an advice, and all of a sudden your friend changed the way that she was uh, looking that day. try and pay attention. When you have a friend that calls you, hey, hon, can we see each other? Can we talk? Can we spend time together? I just want to talk or to eat something with you. You will see that that conversation will help her to change her energy. All of a sudden, she's smiling and she's having fun. And all this glowing in her face is there. And that's the power that we have as a woman, and we don't notice. We take it for granted. Oh, we chat. Oh my gosh, she was so happy. We were so happy. We have a blast. But what happened? She needs to recharge. And you was that person that she thought that will bring her that energy for her to recharge. So that makes you a CEO of energy for your friend. And that's something that you cannot forget about it. You was the key for her to think that she can do it again. I have been doing businesses in real estate and sales for many, many, many years. I came here in 2006, and since then I got my license. I have many agents going in my office, and something that I noticed is that I can empower them everything and tell them all that I know. But if they are not ready to receive, they are not taking advantage of it. And for me, that's very frustrating because when you're the broker or when you're a person of position or you're CEO, a person of power, I always had this policy that it was an open door policy. And when I was in my office, I have a one day for it was the Thursdays that my agents come stop by to the office and ask me any question and spend time with me. Why? Because I think that opportunity to be for someone that you admire, and I will say that my agents admire me because they would like to be in my office, no? So, and they want to work with me. I had to give them that opportunity to go to me, to talk to me. I always say that you had to pick somebody else's brain. The way you think that someone know a little bit more than you, go and pick their brain. So I put that day for the agents to come to the office, and it was super funny that nobody shows, that they were busy. They have something else to do. And I was do you want my knowledge? Bring your notebook, bring your situations. Maybe there's some deals that are not going well, and you need a way to find to close that deal, a financial situation that maybe you haven't found out the way to do it. And when I start putting myself there, and I noticed that even they are in the office, they was not present in the office. But it's not that they were not present in the office, it's because they wasn't present in what they are doing. They wasn't moving, or they wasn't believing that they were a real estate agent that I thought that they were. I cannot do that. I cannot do anything with that. That's part of your identity. I know my identity. I know who am I, and I love to solve problems. Puzzles for me is the way that I saw my life and everybody else's lives. So, for example, I have agents. Ladies, I have agents calling me. Please save this deal for me because my client doesn't want to deal with me anymore. For me, it was a frustration. But I think that was the word that I need to put me like at this, oh my gosh, energy, that powerful woman that I am, that I know who am I, that I love to find the way to save that transaction. And for me, it was like okay, what is the situation? The first thing that I always hear is that the agent lose connection with the client. They promised something that they wasn't able to provide. This is what happened when you promise something that you are not able to deliver. Your reputation is all down. there's no reputation at all. You lose that connection with your client. Don't promise something that you cannot deliver just to get that deal, because the deal will not be done. You know what happened? People will like to do not go through the transaction and lose their escrow deposit or whatever the money that they put down for not to continue working with you. If you're something, if there's something that you're going to remember now for from me in this video, people will love to lose their deposit, their money, whatever it was, if you are not the one delivering what did you promise to them. It doesn't matter if your position is a CEO. It doesn't matter if you're your own boss. At the moment that you cannot provide your promises, there's no deal, there's no client, there's no reputation, there's no ethic, there's no professionalism, there's no commitment in the biggest part, and the most important part is the client. I have agents calling me, Rosalina, I need to save this transaction. The client doesn't want to work with me anymore. I have been jumping in that transaction with respect to that client. I have one situation that I want to tell you. It was like this client, they offered to fix the credit during the process to going to the financings to purchase the house. There was an account that all of a sudden shows off in his credit, like he was paying his son car loan. For that kind of situation, it is super basic, and this is the best thing that we always do, and is something that is, hello goddess, hi girl. There's something that we always, this situation is repeated all the time. So this is what happened when you have, and this is more businesses, right? Let me just explain this to you. When you are paying someone loan from your bank account because that person doesn't have the credit, or that person wasn't ready at that moment, but they are the one paying, they have to show that the money comes from their bank account to your bank account, and you are the one making the payment. In that way, the bank, the lender, will see that transition, and they can count that as a, it's not your responsibility money wise, it's this person, but you borrow your credit to this person. Okay, that what is happening with this client. What happened with these two ladies to try to get the deal? And I says my lender, I'm sorry, my realtor, plus the person that fixed the credit, they promise to fix the whole thing to the client. But what happened when you promise something that you cannot fix it? The deal was going out. We're not going to have any closing. We were like not even 10 days to closing. And the client, I spoke with him, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to apologize. I just got your information. I just need to know, what do you need? The first thing that he says is, I don't want to work with this realtor anymore. How can you, as a woman of power, because you're the realtor, you're the person that they believe that is the professional, you're the one with the license, you lose all your credibility with this client? That means that the power, the woman, the CEO, was not encoded in her DNA. She was doing something just for doing it, but she wasn't believing in who she was. She wasn't dreaming or having that amazing experience to take that client to the most amazing experience, that is giving their the keys of his dream house. I did this. I hear everything that he has to say. And let me tell you, when the broker has to step in, there's nothing happy that comes out from those beautiful mouths of the clients. Everything is a mess. You had to listen, and you had to quiet, you had to let them, what is the word? Vent. They need to vent. And when he was down, after I hear him, I says, How can I help you? How we can go through this closing that is so near. We don't need to wait maybe just 10 more days, and the lender and the developer is ready and is willing to wait for you. How you want me to take care of this? How you want me to help you? I know my power. I know who am I. I know that that's what I love. I love to solve problems. I don't have any problems. The only problem that they have is bad communication. If they started since the beginning without promising anything and just let him know, okay, we will try to fix your credit. Let us know exactly what we're going to be encountered on it to see and have an idea, and we can prepare everything to do this. You cannot promise things that you are not in control. Then that's when your power is lost. When I spoke with this client, I took all the responsibility and I took him from this situation to closing. Why? Because I know how to manage him. I know my power. I know who am I. First, since 2006, I do not have any transaction falling apart. And I'm very proud of it. And I know that it's had been the universe working with me, my angels working with me, my energy working with me, but I do not have a transaction that is has been not closing. And I'm very proud of it. And I saved this transaction. My agent get her compensation. I have another agent with the same situation, almost the same situation. These clients called me. They were friends. And she told him since the beginning to my agent that she has her own lender. He says, let me use mine. Mine will help you from A through C. What happened from A to D? It was a disaster. The most horrible situation in the financial was with this guy. I need to step in again. The agents call me, hey, Rosalina, I'm about to lose the transaction. She's a friend of mine. She's very upset with me. It was so bad that they don't talk to each other anymore. It was so bad that she was going to his social media to vent everything that he did for her. How can I go back and try to save this lady? She was very upset. She was coming from a divorce and she was trying to restructure her life. They know that deep information there. When everything happened, she feels like she was falling apart again because now you cannot give her a new place to live. Now you have another situation that she has to encounter when it was not like that. I told her, hon, how I can help you to close this as soon as possible. I have my lender. Do you mind if I go and connect with your lender right now? And we're trying to close this as soon as he can. Yes. Okay. If you can do that, I will be taking care of the listing agent. I had someone else that I had to ask for permission, but I already assumed all my power, all the love that I have for real estate and for safe transactions. That made me so energetic that I was just in my face. I'm leaving that transaction again. Ladies, I closed that transaction. That woman was so happy living in her town. It is about a townhome in a gated community. We closed in 7 days. But for me, my satisfaction was that she was extremely happy. She can change all her bad situation because I give her the key. I had two closings. It's not just that. It's when you do that, you show who you are. When you do that, they are friends for you forever. When you do that, you can control any situations. I have another. Oh, this one, I love it. Um, I have this situation. I have a friend of my husband. that her parents are going to live with them in Tampa, Florida. But they are her parents. So they start to live in Tampa. We leave the house, cleaning the house, repaint, cleaning the carpet, putting the house ready for sale. I went into a contract with one of my agents. He has a client, and he says, I am getting her credit ready before to start the contract. So I hold the house for them while I was working and put the house together for this sale. I was waiting for those 30 days to be completed. At the same time, we asked for the appraisal of the property. So I know how much was the value of the property. When the moments come, we went under contract. We were like a 2 weeks on contract already. And I going to ask the lender that is also a realtor, but he also has the license. And I asked him, hey, how is the deal? And he says, well, so far, I don't think that we're going to close. Okay, hold on. How we are not going to close if I give it to you 30 days to fix the credit and you were waiting for that before to go on the contract. Something that happened when you are a woman of power and you know what you're doing, you already started making a strategy how to fix that. I was already thinking who was the lender that will say, we will save this deal for me and how I going to save it. I know exactly how I'm going to do it. So I start listening to him, but I'm getting my blood boiling. And I have this situation. I'm a Virgo. So I'm a Virgo, and I promised my clients that I have a client already to get the house that we're going to be closing maybe in 30 to 45 days. Now he's telling me that we're not closing almost 2 weeks for closing. He starts saying, oh, her credit is not ready yet. I don't think that she's going to close because she needs government assistance for the down payment, right? And I was listening. I says, I start asking the correct questions. How much money does she need to put down? When he started talking to me, I already has the plan over here. What I did, I told him, let me tell you something. I'm very upset with you. I think that your work has been very sloppy. There are things that happen that sometimes you cannot stop what you're going to say, but people need to know that they are not working on your favor. This is what happened. Lenders, and I don't want to generalize all of them, but a few of them lose their commitment on the deals. If they see something easier to be closed faster, that's the one that they're going to put all the energy on. But I know as a woman of power, as a CEO of my office, is my reputation, is my name of the line. And I don't like that. I need to provide all the services and ensure that we are going to close. That's the way I am. Because it's not just a transaction, it's my name, it's my face. So this is what happened. I told him, I'm very upset with you. I think that you're taking too long to tell me right now that we're not going to close. And let me tell you something. You didn't do the things correctly. And I promise you that I'm going to close this deal. I know how to close it. He says it's impossible to you to close this deal. Oh, that day and that moment, I blessed that guy because he says, you will not close that deal. I close it. I closed the deal. I was so happy. There's so many things in real estate that I can do in the financial area that if I know how to structure it, I will make it possible. And I did it. I never told him how to. I never told the other realtor how to. I just told them, this is the lender. Tell the clients to reach out to him and give all the information. That was the secret between the lender and myself. That is the information that you need to provide. That's your key. Your knowledge is for those events. Your knowledge is to prove someone else. Of course, I have another way to do it. Let me tell you something. At the day of the closing, the day of the closing, we took a picture, we put it in the social media, and we tagged that agent, realtor, lender, and we says, "Hey, we closed in 7 days. Thank you so much. Was a pleasure." You know why? Because this lady was going through her divorce. The ex-husband sold the house, and she just had to leave the house on Wednesday. She called me on a Monday. When I received her phone call, I was, oh my gosh, it was so, I was very, I was so surprised. And I know that I step in because when I lose the control, I don't lose the control, but when I get upset for what the lender told me, I communicate with the realtor, her realtor, because it was my realtor. And I says, tell your client to call me if she has any information, she need anything else. She called me and she told me, you know that if I don't find a place to live, I will be homeless on Wednesday. When she calls and she says, this is this and this, and I says, oh my gosh, I step in because I shouldn't be contacting her and I shouldn't tell the realtor to tell her to call me. We cannot connect or we cannot talk with the buyers when we are representing the sellers. Okay. So when she called me and she told me that, and says, "Hey, hon, I want you to be relaxed. I will talk to the sellers, and you will not be on the street. You're not gonna be a homeless. I will renting you the house. We're gonna prorate whatever the days will be, and at the day of the closing, you pay the rent, and then you continue living in the house." And we did that. It was beautiful, giving her the opportunity to buy her house and moving forward with her life. I have a personal situation that very, it was, it was bad because I never expected that other women in power will try to put me down. I was invited as a panel, Women in Real Estate panel, and we were talking about the exclusive buyer broker agreement. I don't know if many of you guys know that what happened in the north in the United States, that so many other realtors or companies were having the situation with the mono, what is mono, monopoly. They were monopolizing the real estate. They were getting an agreement of the compensations upstairs, New York, and or that area. In the NAR, National Association of Realtor, was sued for many millions of dollars, and it was a big, big, and horrible situation for realtors in the United States. It was in 2024. And from there, there's always had been the exclusive buyer broker agreement. Is when you represent the buyer. That document has been in our system ages, but the market had been changed so much that the I would say the classic real estate companies like Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams, Beth and Hathaway, they use those structures documents because they are there. We need to use it. It's part of their quality control of the offices, right? So we had to provide all those documents. The market had been changed a lot because the 100% commissions that I have 100% commission companies, many of them do not teach classes or explain how to use those documents. I do. I explain my agents. I told my agents, if you don't have it signed it, you cannot claim a compensation later on because that document create a chain of evidence. It's the only way that you can say that client, it was my client. He signed this with me. I was willing to represent him, and he was really able, willing, able, and ready to purchase. That's the evidence that I have. So the thing is that we were in this panel for maybe 150 agents, and we were four women there. There was a coach, somebody else for the Realtor Social Association of the locations that we were working, another lady, and myself. And all of a sudden, this lady that is in here, she says, okay, the exclusive buyer broker agreement established this. You have to be sure that you put your compensation in the. We have a few. Is the in the structure? There's a area that we had to put how much is going to be the compensation that the buyer now that we represented are going to pay us, just in case the seller will not pay the compensations to us, because that situation in the up north create now that the seller doesn't have to pay compensation. Okay, so the realtor has to deal that with their buyer. Their buyer has to be aware that just in case the seller are not paying compensation, that document established that the buyer is going to pay the compensation for the realtor. So I explained that part, but I also says you guys has to be careful because we sell um, uh, vacation homes, and the vacation homes has a different structure, but at the of payment. Okay, so it's not this regular one. We have another one, but at the same time we have bonuses included. How can you put all that information in that document that you don't lose any money? So I explained my way to put it in that document. And this is the funny part. Those ladies, oh, thank you. Those ladies were crazy. When I explained how to do it, they were saying that that was not the correct way to structure the document. And they say that in front of that many people. And I was like a very surprised because I was saying, how can you tell other realtors when you call yourself like a mentor, when you call yourself someone in the association of realtors of that location, and you're another agent with a lot of knowledge, that the documents doesn't read that way? First, I hear that information from the broker of that office, and I was very concerned that they do not understand the concept. They were also saying that we can put in social medias how much will be the compensation when the MLS, the multi-listing system, that is where we put all the information about all the houses that will be selling in the market, like our resales that um, uh, we have access to. It was saying that we are not allowed to use any social media to put any conversation, because the idea of this is to avoid a steering. That's the term. It calls a steering. It's like you're moving your buyer, your client, to a property that will pay a little higher compensation. The idea is going to be a fair for all the houses that you're going to show. You don't even can call and ask for that. So I explained all that thing in my time that I had to expose my time and tell them what to do. And I also was very clear. You had to be careful with your bonuses. You had to structure that in, we have a space that it says additional terms, that we put that information as well. Also, you had to put there in the system where you're dealing with vacation homes. So those ladies, also women in power, they were yelling at me that I was doing that incorrectly, that I wasn't understanding what I had to do, that I have no idea what I was doing. I'm running an office with 200 agents, and I just keep quiet. I don't need to defend myself. When you know what you're doing, a woman of power and a woman that knows what she's doing, she never defends herself. She lets the time do the magical. relevations. So this is what happened almost before I finished, because they give it to you opportunities to talk, and then you have your final thought, and then we finish the whole thing. I get the microphone and says, guys, be careful with this document because you will lose a lot of money if you don't know how to use it. Many blessings, Rosalina Esquilin, broker. And I just shut down, turn off the microphone. Everybody finished. I left the stage and I went my home. When I went home, I was very confused with the whole thing because I didn't expect something like that from this kind of women. And what I was waiting was for the moment to start saying, "Oh, I told you so." I will do that. I have that thing. I need to prove myself right. And then the thing is that there was one class that it came after that presentation from an real estate instructor that he's located in Miami. He's a guy, he's a very well known, and he shows the document. And he did a Zoom live class, whatever, and the agents start calling me. Send it to me the document. It says, Rosalina, exactly what you just said in the event. You had to put your compensation in this spot. If you're gonna working with the vacations homes, you had to put it as well, and the bonuses as well, because we are in the loop to lose compensation. The document established even more information. The document says that it says in a specific location and you purchase in another area, you're not going to get the compensation. And when I was teaching that, it says put the document that is in all Florida because our license is for all Florida. So I was trying to cover all the basis for the agents. When I received the document, I was so on fire. You can go to my website, you can go to YouTube, you can find that because I did the video in Spanish. But I was so happy to say exactly what I told you guys. Do not lose your money. You need to put everything on the paper. Is your compensation, is your work. You know what happened? People had to quiet. And then they had to find out the way to say it to look good because what happened? People are following these people, these other ladies, but they wasn't right. I was right. And I know what I was saying. The thing is that I didn't bring any information in the meantime, but I took my time to get another class and use all the information from the MLS, the multi-listed system. They give a class just on that, and I start to put all the information in the screen as the in the PowerPoint. Why? Because when you are a woman of power, whatever you say, wherever you wherever you are, whatever you do, somebody else is looking at you and they try to duplicate what you're doing. And this is very important. You don't know at that moment who is the person that is seeing you as an example, as a role model, and they follow your step and they conquer the world. They can change their life. And this is what I'm doing right here. This is what is my my passion about it. I want to, and I believe in the power of the woman that change families in industries and entire generations. When women understand her values, her voice, and her power, she become unstoppable. And we are. When we are in the correct way, when we have the persons that really want to get all this knowledge, it's amazing how much you can do. I have had agents at my office making six figures a year and they don't know how they did it. I have agents pay off all their credit cards and their bills and everything. They pay everything full. They don't pay and they don't have any debts. They fix their credit. They now making the money for their kids' college. I have women with so much power creating businesses that they thought that they can never put it back again. It was so funny because I think that my first video, like I think it's a week ago, I spoke with this lady that she had been she was divorced for 10 years. And I went and met her, and I met her yesterday again. And it was amazing. This lady is on fire. I just spoke with her one day, telling her that maybe her house is no value, the price that she's thinking. But when I saw her need to go back to the place that she belongs and put her in her power again, girl, that girl get it. That girl is getting businesses. Yesterday she told me, "Oh, I already have two businesses that I had to be taken care of. I already has a partner that is helping me with this side, and I don't know why I offer my clients to her." I wasn't able to. I was not. I wasn't planned to do that. My meeting with her yesterday was to put it together with this other business person that I know, and I want to put that situation together and finishing whatever will be talking about the house. All of a sudden, I give it to her the business of my friend, maybe her other friend that are my partners. They are my partners right now. So there's two more businesses. She got two from the first time that we spoke. That lady built already a multi-million dollar business, but she was still grieving her divorce. She get lost on that. She thought that she can never go and move from there. We have been spoke all morning today. She is on fire. She was giving me information about the IRS, the document that we had to send, what we had to do. That lady is unstoppable. She even told me that she purchased, I think it's gold in Africa, and she sell it in Dubai. I was just go, what are you doing? What? He says, girl, it's time for you to take your power back. It's time for you to bring all that energy again. She had someone that he was working with. I think someone that studied with her in college. The guy called her, says, I appreciate you so much because you don't know how much you did when we were in college, that you helped me to be the person and the accountant that I am. Their partner since yesterday, because I told her, is that the person that can help you and you trust? That's part of your team. It's amazing how we can help others when we know who we are. So if you're a woman who knows deep inside that you were created for more impact, more leadership, more wealth, and more freedom, then you're exactly the woman that I'm seeking for. This is amazing. So today I work with ambition women who are to elevate their mindset, leaderships, their business, and the highest level. Women who are ready to become the CEOs of their lives, their finances, and their future. This is the funny thing. We think that the CEO is just for businesses. No, we're the CEOs of our lives. Everywhere we go, we create an impact. Have you noticed everywhere that you go, people looking at you, people sees you, and if you're calling that energy, oh, I want to be showing off, I want to, everybody knows me, I want to, then you had to go and get ready for that. People will see you. People will notice you. You create that. You need to be ready for that. So, my name is Rosalina Esquilin. I believe powerful women are not born, but they are built. And when women rise with power, the world change. So, if you're ready, just get connecting with me. Let's go and elevate your life to the next level. Let's go to this journey together. I know that we can do it together. I know that when we join this community of women who are building influence, success, and legacy, we are here to create that, to save the world. Do you know that we women are the nourish of the world? We nourish our kids. The thing is that we don't know how much we value, but everywhere that we go and we talk with someone with the correct energy, when we do just a good gesture, we change people's life. We have the opportunity to have kids. We are the ones that, oh my gosh, you speak so softly, or they says talk to the plants, and we go, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful and you give me so much happiness and you're growing so beautiful. Do you notice that your voice and your energy, that nourish, that love change? We use that when we want to get something, but when we know who we are, when we know what we're giving away, when you're giving away that power, give with all that energy. I love to see you guys. I love to see you grow. I just right there in the link, I have a link. Just follow me in the link. I just going to put a little bit more information later on in the three videos that we have. And if you really like it, please send this to somebody else that also we get advantage of this. Just follow us. Let us know exactly what would you like to hear from us. We would like to be this partnership with you guys. We would like to elevate you, to take you to the next level. And thank you so much to be here with me. I appreciate this super, 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 super so much. And I see you tomorrow. So take care. Bye.